Oh, this whole being pleasant is fucking exhausting.
Yes, sir. It's very tiring.
I'm running out of nice juice to spray at these shit munchers. Hi there, good to see you. You know, you're about as annoying as a condom filled with fire ants. How's that for a fucking metaphor?
It's a simile, sir.
Shut your mouth, you fat girl.
I move as slowly as a Mississippi detective investigating the murder of a young black man.
That's right. I'd make more money if I installed Will here as a full-time glory hole greeter at a Georgetown gay bar, which I'm pretty sure he already does part-time, right, Will?
Yep.
Come on, Wilbo Faggins, let's go.
Okay, places, everyone. Demented Revolution, opening in 5.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
4. 3.
Let's put a smile on that face.
2.
I'm a land farmer, motherfucker!
The revolution will not be televised.
This revolution will be podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Demented Revolution.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back with Demented Revolution once again, and this is episode 10. Diaz, right? It's it's Malcolm 10 and Freddie 10, however you want to put it. But number 10, we finally did it. We did it, everybody. We made it. We said 10, and that was it. Then we're quitting. We're quitting and all getting day jobs. Demented Revolution on the air, broadcasting in an undisclosed location in Oslo, Norway. Sitting across from me, codename Shannon.
Hello.
And codename Danny.
Hello.
And codename Joe is on assignment, looking for demented things to revolt against. So, he will be back soon. We hope, fingers crossed. Until that time, what have we got on the agenda for today?
Well, today we have a special edition of Movie Chit Chat called TV Chit Chat.
Special.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting TV news. Honestly, TV is getting so interesting nowadays. We're really in a golden era of television. Yeah. I think just about everybody can say there's been at least one television show that's been probably the best they've ever seen.
It is a unbelievable, what's the word, spectrum.
Yeah.
It is either horrifically bad TV or amazingly good TV.
I would agree. And even the bad TV, I would say, happens to have enough addictability. In fact, there's a TV show that I think is one of the shows that is not a good show, but is very popular.
I'm going to stop you. Okay, this is a TV show, and let me see if I'm correct. What you're talking about is the kind of TV show like if you have a canker sore or a bad tooth, you can't help but keep putting your tongue against it and be like, ow! Even though you know it's going to cause you pain, you keep doing it. Is this the kind of TV show, no matter how bad it is, you still watch it? Is that what you're saying?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, do you have one?
There's been a couple.
Okay, I have one. Had one. And luckily I took methadone and got off that one. But what is your TV show? The bad tooth in your mouth that you keep pressing TV show.
Bad tooth in my mouth. Well, they had a few others that were canceled, but I would say the most popular one is, and I actually came to this realization in the last few weeks, Orange is the New Black, actually. I just realized...
Really?
Because I used to really enjoy it, and then I actually went back and I started looking at all the things I liked.
And you consider that, really that bad? Because I don't consider it a good show, but I don't consider it that bad.
What I would say is I don't think it's the worst show ever. It definitely isn't. It has some really great moments, but it also has lots of bad acting, lots of really dodgy accents, and lots of storylines that don't go anywhere. And after a while, I'm kind of tired of it. It doesn't mean that it's the worst show ever, but it's a show that...
You know what? I'm going to tell you why that it's you're discovering that in a second. So, yours is Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
Danny.
There was this old show, it's not on anymore, called Kenny vs. Spenny.
Kenny versus Spenny.
That was a popular
show. Is that
Nickelodeon? No. I forgot what channel it was on. But it was two friends that they would do...
Is this cartoon or live action?
Live action. And they would do...
I do know this. This was Comedy Central, I think. It
was so bad, but I couldn't help but watch it. Spenny was such a dick, but I loved to watch it.
Okay, all right.
I never saw an episode of that, but I've seen previews of that, so I can't speak previews. Mine is Two Broke Girls.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Two Broke Girls. I think one of the worst shows on television,
and
I binged it the first season, and it was almost like, well, it's been on for a long time. It keeps getting renewed, so something's got to happen. It's got to pick up.
Maybe they had the perfect slot.
Maybe I have to
right after certain shows.
Maybe I have to muscle through it because all of a sudden it's going to change into this great show, and it never ever did.
Oh no!
And it was just it kept sinking in. I mean, talk about bad acting and storylines that went nowhere. It was atrocious. But
You've seen it all though?
no, that's what I said. I finally stopped. I was like, it's never getting any better. I got to stop. But it was for a while. It was a little bit addicting. Like I kept watching it, being like, this is horrible. This is horrible. Oh, next episode. This is horrible. This is horrible.
I didn't mind the conceit of it. The idea that these girls could be slowly saving up to, open up that cupcake shop, at least in the first season.
Was it one of them rich though?
One of them
was,
used to be.
Yeah, it was like, she came from this one came from this side of the tracks, the other one came from the other side of the tracks. And I can't stand the writing where it's like, every single thing has to refer back to how bad she used to have it. Like, oh, my dad used to own a horse. Well, my dad ate horses. It's just like, all right, guys, I get it. You've been together for this long, and you have to keep reminding each other, I used to be rich, and I was dirt poor.
So one girl's Rachel from Friends. Okay.
Yeah, it was just horrible. And the fact that their cupcakes every time were just so amazing, like, we're going to make $1 million off cupcakes. And it's just like, it's cupcakes. You know that, right? It's just
Yeah.
cupcakes. You're not really going anywhere with
Change the world
cupcakes.
with the cupcakes.
Like, we're gonna open up this business, and there's going to be a line a mile long for our cupcakes.
Oh, boy.
There's never been a time where I've lined up for a cupcake, ever.
Well,
Ever.
I would say that the whole point of it is they seem to deliberately be appealing to hipsters, especially hipsters in New York.
And yet
You've
they
heard
make
about-
fun of them.
They do make fun of them, but I mean that whole thing about the cronuts. Remember
Sure,
people
sure.
lining up,
Things are disgusting.
$5,000 for a dozen cronuts. Yeah.
or they have rainbow bagels. I believe that's in New York, and whenever they cook them in the morning, and there's always a line out the door, and I'm like, well,
Ridiculous.
they're just rainbow though. They don't actually taste any different. They're like, no, not really. It's like,
They taste like a rainbow.
yeah. So I think I kind of get that, but okay.
But
no,
here's
I can agree with that.
my theory on why Orange is the New Black is affecting you the way it is.
Okay.
I have two theories. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
everything you say is right. That's my first theory. Number two is this is the problem. It's Netflix. It is a blessing and a curse that they release the entire season all at once.
Yes.
Because
That's awesome.
you end up, it's great because you just like, yeah, get it
Marathon.
all marathon it. But it's bad because sometimes it gets to be, and I'll refer back to Harry Potter. When I picked up the first Harry Potter book, there had already been like 5 or 6 Harry Potter books out. So I was
Yes.
late in the game coming to Harry Potter. So when I read the first one, loved it. So I went out and I bought all the other books and I binged through all the other books. And it was not a good thing because I realized that they're all basically the same exact book over and over and over and over. Because
was differences.
of course, but it's all the same. Harry's having a bad time at home. He can't wait to get to Hogwarts. Harry gets to Hogwarts with his friends. Something evil is going on at Hogwarts. Nobody believes Harry. It's up
I
to
would say
Harry and his
the
friends.
first-
Like barely at Hogwarts.
I was gonna say the first 4 books, I would agree, are basically the same. But then the fourth one is just kind of not
Oh.
only is it 4 times bigger than all the
Well,
others.
when they go to war-
just completely go crazy.
Yeah,
They're just
once
like,
once
yeah.
they go to war, but that was the thing. It just becomes so repetitious, and it was just like, ugh.
So you're saying that binging is
And you tend to see the flaws. You tend to see the flaws in the storyline. Whereas if your brain has a week to relax from this storyline, when you get to the next one, you don't see those gaping plot holes, and you don't see that whatever. But when you're watching back to back to back to back, you're just like, what? That makes no sense, and this, and that,
Well, I would agree, but I would also say that sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes you're watching a TV show that's terrible, but Netflix says, do you want to continue watching? And you're like, well, okay. I mean, I don't have to do anything but press this button, or sometimes even wait 30 seconds for the next episode to go. So a lot of people are like, well, the first 8 episodes were terrible, but eventually it gets good. Nobody would say that for a network television show. After 5 episodes, sometimes after 2, people would be like, okay, no, that didn't work, and then they would cancel
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
See, exactly.
Yeah.
They would cancel it. Just think how great it would be if they canceled Two Broke Girls, or if they canceled
But Two Broke Girls is
Jiminy
very-
versus Spiminy. What was it?
Kenny versus
Kenny versus
Kenny
Spenny.
versus Spenny.
Or Big Bang Theory, I suppose.
Oh,
I can't watch Big Bang Theory.
hate Big Bang Theory. Don't understand the appeal.
It's weird because I used to watch it in the beginning and I didn't mind it. I was like, oh, these guys are weird and it's very obvious, but I ended up liking some of the characters. But then it just kept, you're right, it kept doing the same old jokes over and over. I knew what I was getting into when I started watching it. This is a sitcom by the guy who created 2.5 Men. I knew it was going to be terrible.
And also Dharma and
but-
Greg, right?
Did
This
he?
is I think
Yeah.
this
Oh, yes,
is
he did.
Same guy who did Dharma and Greg.
Didn't-
Which funny enough, I enjoyed Dharma and Greg, even though that seemed pretty repetitious for a while. Like, I'm a freewheeling spirit. I'm a button-down rich man. Oh, together we
I
make
think-
pizza. I
think
guess.
the
I don't know.
charisma of the actors or the chemistry of the actors can definitely bring it up. But yeah, okay. Now that we've got like half of TV chit chat out of the way, should we start getting into some of the interesting news?
Yes, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Copyright. Movie. Chit chat.
There's 14 copyrights right there.
Okay, guys. So there are 2 different TV series that are starting. When I say they're starting, the pilot is being filmed right now. Okay, so the first one is they're releasing a new Star Trek series. Did you guys know that?
Yes,
Really?
I did.
I did not.
I did hear that because I've been keeping up on Star Trek news because of the San Diego coming up, and it's going to be very heavy Star Trek because it's the 50th anniversary or some anniversary of Star Trek that they're doing at San Diego. So every time you turn around, it's another Star Trek panel. They're premiering the new Star Trek movie there. Mm-hmm. They're doing artwork. They have a cosmetic line, Star Trek cosmetic line. So it's heavy Star Trek.
Buy a lot of cosmetics.
Of course.
And
so I was fully aware. That's a long story that I just told to say yes, I do.
2017, January 2017, it should come out. Created by Brian Fuller, though. Looks like he is going to be in charge of that.
Brian Fuller, name sounds familiar.
Okay, as far as I can tell, I'm going to read it out, but I am pretty sure that he is behind Hannibal, the most recent Hannibal TV series.
Hannibal Beers.
He's behind Dead Like Me, which I actually really enjoyed.
Dead Like Me.
It was the one where...
On HBO?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember?
I do know that.
This TV
Mandy
show.
Patinkin was in that.
Yes. It had a great premise. It was about this girl who got hit by a flying toilet seat.
Nice.
Yes. And she died and came back as a reaper.
The toilet seat killed her.
Yeah, and she died. She came back as a reaper. It was actually really good. And then there's Pushing Daisies. That was a show that I really liked.
Yes.
So Brian Fuller, he has some odd things that come out, but yeah, he is behind this. So I'm interested to see where it goes.
So is their ship gonna take them across the universe and they gotta get home again?
Oh, well, you mean like Voyager?
Yeah,
I don't think
I
it's
like
going to be that
Voyager.
bad.
That was my shiznit.
I think they're just going to... They're basically just doing... They're not rebooting the original series. They're just coming up with new characters, putting them in a ship, and letting them go. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me.
I enjoyed Star Trek, but I never got into it enough to like follow the show, watch the series or whatever.
I'd watch that over Star Wars any day.
What?
The TV show or the movies?
Well, I'd watch the TV show over the movies any day. I'm not a Star Wars. I can't.
I am. I was a Star Wars fan, A New Hope, because when it came out, I was 10, 11, I don't know, whatever. I was 42 years old. And so I was just obsessed with it. Because remember, at the time when it came out, there was nothing like that ever, a space opera, so to speak. And so I had everything. Bought all the toys, bought all the trading cards, had all the action figures. I was Star Wars. I had Star Wars bed sheets, Star Wars toothbrush, whatever.
Underwear.
Star Wars underwear, exactly.
They had everything.
Obsessed with it. Obsessed with Star Wars. Watched the Star Wars Christmas special. Wow.
There was a Christmas special.
Oh, wait! You haven't heard about that?
It is probably one of the worst moments of filmmaking of all time.
You can find it, and it is hilarious. It's so bad.
It is bad. Bad.
It is really bad.
But wherever you look, there was Star Wars fever.
Yeah.
And that was one. I think the Christmas special was Chewbacca wanted to get home to his family.
Yeah.
And they understood him.
It was just, dude. I'm telling you, it was
Princess
horrible.
Leia singing. It was weird.
no.
It was very weird.
So anyway, but I watched it, and I watched Star Wars. I watched when they showed up on Donnie and Marie show. Just whatever. Every time you turned around, there's another Star Wars characters. But the problem was back in the day, they took like 5-10 years to make a sequel to it.
Yeah.
So by the time that sequel rolls around, who gives a shit? You just don't care. So
on Netflix, it would have been
right, exactly. But then, I mean, look at Back to the Future. They filmed both those things at the same exact time, 2 and 3 at the same exact time.
That
Exactly,
is great. Yeah.
And so the fact that they're doing that, that it's going to come out next year, or whatever. You're not going to have to wait 10 years for it to come out. And so I still had the fever, still had Star Wars fever, and I go see Empire Strikes Back, and they just destroyed everything that I believed in Empire Strikes Back.
Really?
At the end of the movie, look, at the end of the movie,
that's the one
you
most
have-
people always.
Isn't that the one
I know.
Yoda died?
It's the one that everybody loves.
says that is really
and
great.
it is the one that shattered Star Wars for me. Because at the end of the movie, Han Solo's frozen in carbonite. Luke Skywalker has lost his hand and found out that his dad is the villain and that the girl he almost made out in the first one is his sister.
Oh, yeah.
C-3PO is in pieces, being on Chewbacca's back. This asshole who was a complete dick through the whole movie now has control of Millennium Falcon, and Chewbacca's just like, all right, I'll hang out with you from now on.
Yeah.
So all these things were just like, what? And then they go, the end, and you're like, what?
Tune in 10 years from now.
Exactly. You knew you had to wait 10 years, and I was just like, I felt like weeping openly at the end of that. That's why. And then the third one came out, and it was like, Ewoks? Seriously? Who cares?
I think maybe because I was obviously I watched Star Wars much later. I think I actually really enjoyed it. I kind of liked the cliffhanger, but I guess because of the fact that I had all three accessible.
You're right there.
I was like, okay, oh my god, what's gonna happen? So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I get it. Okay, I get it.
And
now.
I'm really disappointed. And I don't know why he does not do this, but I'm really disappointed in the fact that you can't go back and watch the first one. You can't buy a Blu-ray or whatever, and that George Lucas didn't fuck with. And change.
Yeah, I mean, he's
shot, what was it?
Because Han shot first, which
obviously.
he did.
Well, he did.
And at any point did I be like, well, Han is not a good person. It's like, that's Han. He's rebel. Whatever.
Cowboy.
Do you know what
Cowboy.
Do you know what my theory is? And it's actually a popular theory, but the theory is that Space Cowboy indeed. The theory is that George Lucas had a lot of help making Star Wars. Everybody knows this. He had a lot of artists who came up with different ideas of how the villain should look, people who came up with this.
Oh, I'd imagine, sure.
Yeah, he had a lot of help. Now, he did a lot of work on it, and it has to be commended. But I think as it happens, he started to believe his own hype. So 20, 30 years later, 40 years later, he starts to look back and go, well, I didn't really like that, so I'm going to change it. And it's things that he, in his mind, he's convinced himself,
Because I know they added in, because I remember back when I was a kid, they sold these giant lizards, not real, toy lizards, and they would show pictures of the stormtroopers riding these lizards around on Tatooine.
That was on 3.
And so it was like, but this was after the first one that they sold those. So of course I bought one, even though it wasn't in the movie. In George Lucas's changed version, he put those lizards in there. And he also put Jabba the Hutt when the Millennium Falcon takes off the very first time. He put that in there. And the fact that Greedo shoots instead of Han. But those changes, I don't like it. It just changes the whole, to me, nope, don't like it.
I feel like he had a series that was beloved by millions of people.
Still,
I mean,
still to this day.
Sure, it has flaws, but there were plenty of people who honestly loved it. And he went back and he's like, nah, I think I can make it better. And I think,
but I also hear that George Lucas is a super nice guy.
He gave away all of the money that he got.
His billions
from
of
Disney,
dollars.
He gave it away. In fact, the funny thing about it is that
I got low.
So I heard that he was attempting to. No, seriously, do you know he was attempting to expand a Skywalker ranch, and all the people around him, all of his neighbors, were protesting. So what he did is actually he decided that he was going to turn a particular area into affordable housing.
Yeah, affordable housing.
And they're trying to stop him. He's like, well, too bad. Like, he's just like, I'm gonna allow people to live here who can't normally live here, and he's done a lot of good things. I just think creatively he needs to take a step back.
He actually was the only person on record in Hollywood to ever say, and this is true, I have enough money.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, I have enough money.
No, he really does.
And he's, I mean, I hate knocking on him because he is a super nice guy. And if you ever see interviews with him on different things, he actually is he's a smart guy, obviously a smart guy. But here's a little known fact that I didn't know. Maybe you guys knew. Did you know Harrison Ford, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, the president from Air Force One?
Yes.
Is a huge stoner, huge pothead.
Oh, yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yes, I knew that.
Huge pothead.
He really is.
I heard a story the other day about when he was on the set of, I'm going to say, let's say,
Indiana
Jones,
was he
probably
messing with the ship.
Well, actually, he's accident prone.
Whenever he was on the set of one of the big movies, and he came out with to his driver, and he came out with a skillet, with a thing over it. And the driver said, "What's the skillet for?" And he goes, "I ran out of papers, so I put all the pot in the skillet and heated it up, and then he opened it up and just
I heard that.
I heard, and it's like, seriously, man, I can't see Indiana Jones be like, oh, hey, man." Let go of the kids, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
That's maybe why he knew the fridge was saving from the.
What is his big? Oh, no, it's not. Hold on to your potatoes, Mr. Jones. I'm trying to think what.
Oh, the little kid.
Short round. But it's just but bravo to Harrison Ford for being a stoner. I think that's hilarious.
I didn't see Star Wars though till after episode 2. So I saw 1 and 2.
Wait, when you say 1, you're saying Phantom Menace?
The original.
Yes.
Ones.
Those are, wait, the original.
Not the original.
You started with the
'Cause
prequels.
that's one thing I didn't get. He made part 4, 5, 6,
And then went back to
now
1,
we're
2,
gonna go
3.
1, 2, and 3. Now we're gonna go 7, which was a complete remake of 4. Which
I enjoyed the remake. Or not the remake. I enjoyed.
No, I agree that is a remake, but I didn't have a problem with it.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of
did.
fun.
It was not good.
It just seemed fun. The whole thing seemed fun to me. It was fun seeing all those characters. The latest one, the J.J. Abrams one, to me was a fun movie. I enjoyed the whole movie, but it was not a Star Wars movie. To me, it was like it's like when Hawaii Five-0 shows up and they're like, "Hey, and the cast of Two Broke Girls showed up here." It was like, here's a sci-fi movie, and it's like, "Oh look, here's the cast of Star Wars to come help us out." That's what it felt like to me. Like it was a mashup of like Star Wars guys just dropped by. But all I can say is this: Luke Skywalker looked badass at the end of that movie.
Oh yeah, he knew. You hear the ship coming. I'm gonna stand here
Badass.
to look badass. I'm gonna stare at the ocean.
Dude,
Yeah.
he looked Game of Thrones badass.
Dude, that's my
He looked
God.
great. He looked great with his robot hand and all. He
Okay,
looked
so
great.
differing
He
opinions.
looked great.
differing
Because
opinions.
Mark Hamill does not look good.
No,
does
he does.
not.
He does not.
He
But
does not look good.
Poor
But in this
guy.
movie, he looked great. He looked great.
CG doesn't matter.
Yeah, so should be interesting. We got onto a completely different
We went
track.
way off track.
Yeah.
We went way off track. But actually, speaking of beloved properties, okay, the next TV series which is coming out is Krypton.
Yes, I did
Yeah.
hear about that. I'm not
Right.
looking forward to that one either.
See,
I've never been a
it's
Superman fan.
Superman, right?
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
it is
Why are
Superman.
the people not walking around their planet like it hurts? Because their planet is made of kryptonite.
Because it's
No.
because you're an idiot and you
They
don't
have to be superpowered
because-
by our sun.
and
because
you
you're
don't,
an idiot.
you don't know anything about the Superman lore. That's
Okay.
why. That's why
So
they
you
don't.
mean to
That's
tell
why
me
they don't.
Until they get our sun, red sun, kryptonite
Our
doesn't
sun's
hurt
not
them.
red.
Our, yeah, it's red.
It's not.
Our
red.
sun
It's
is
not
not
red.
red.
Our
no.
sun is not red.
Orange.
What world do you live in?
What?
I'm colorblind, okay? Why you gotta make fun of me?
Oh my
I
gosh.
guess colors.
I guess colors. Our black sun.
So yeah, this is going to follow. Okay, according
Black
to
Suns
IGN.
matter.
According to IGN, Krypton will follow Superman's grandfather, whose House of El was ostracized and shamed as he fights to redeem his family's honor and save his beloved world from chaos. I am not down with this. I'm not down with this because I don't like prequels that start before disasters. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody knows this is going to happen.
I'm not.
at
A,
the
I'm
end.
not a fan.
of that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of prequels. I'm not really a fan of anything where I know the outcome, like Passion of the Christ. It's like I think I know how this one turns out. You know, is he gonna get away? I don't think so. Spoiler: he doesn't make it. So, and that's why I didn't like the prequels of Star Wars, because who gives a shit where Darth Vader came from? Who cares? I know where this is ending. Why? So I'm not gonna
Right.
be like, oh, poor Anakin. I know what you're gonna become. So
Save Padme.
like, who cares? Who cares? You know this is all going to turn out bad for you. So it's like all I'm watching is a train wreck in slow motion.
Right.
That's all it is.
But it's
not
gonna,
a fan of prequels.
It's going to be strange because it's going to be set on Krypton. So what is it going to be about? Politics and stuff? Because am I correct? People
So
on
every
Krypton,
time-
people on Krypton do not have superpowers,
No.
obviously. So it's going to be about
According to that
people
last
on a
movie,
planet.
They did have superpowers because I have my suit with my. Well, what was it? Their atmosphere was in it, and they were doing crazy stuff in the Man of Steel movie.
No, okay, Man of Steel was
But they
terrible,
even
though.
said the Man of Steel. They said that all this stuff is going to come at you. Like Superman was telling Zod that all this stuff is going to come at you. You got to learn how to control
That
it.
was when he cracked the suit open, and that's when they got.
Yeah, but then when he got his, doesn't matter. This
They
is
were
we're
in
talking
the
about a
suit.
Zack Snyder movie, and
That
you know how I
that
feel about
drove me
Zack
crazy
Snyder.
with
But
Man
that
of Steel.
that was I personally hated Man of Steel. But I
I
there's
liked him. He was good.
who
The guy that played Superman.
the guy who played Superman. Henry Cavill is fine. I just feel like his Superman is such a boring, depressing jerk that I just don't.
They should bring the
care.
kid back from Smallville. Well,
The kid
he was
back-
a grown ass man, but
It's
Who,
funny.
Dean Cain?
no. What was his
Tom
name?
Welling.
Tom Welling.
It's
He
funny
was
because
awesome for Superman.
it's weird because I remember watching him and thinking, oh, he's
Dean Cain was Superman, though, right?
yes, years ago. He was kind of Tom Welling was like a plank of wood, a plank of pretty wood, like a statue,
Just say,
very
he-
pretty to
he
look
was a
at.
handsome man.
Yes, he was, but
Danny's one.
no, but as time went on, what bothered me at first, I was just like,
No Dean, okay?
Dean was far more charming.
Are you talking about Dean from Supernatural?
Supernatural. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm more of a Sam man myself.
You look it.
I would say that Dean Cain was a better Superman. Good God. I would say that Dean Cain was a better Superman in that he was charming. You actually liked him, whereas Tom Welling grew on you, I think.
Henry Cavill,
Yeah,
however you
Cavill,
say
why
it, looks the part.
Yes, he does.
I think he's phenomenal head to toe. Looks like Superman. Now his acting abilities and whatnot,
I've seen him in other films and he can be good. So I wonder if it's the script or
it is
wonder
a script.
I don't know.
Or if
Damn
it's-
you, Zack Snyder.
Or if it's,
God damn you, Zack Snyder. You have
Zack
oh, you have the new
Snyder.
edition.
I do.
Ooh.
Hey, please give us a review of it. And
I was
let
talking
us
to
know.
John Schnepp from the guy who directed the movie. Well, you were there.
Yeah.
And they were saying that he liked it. He said he actually liked the extended version. But
What's it called again? It has a name.
Ultimate Ultimate Edition. Yeah,
I think it's called Try This One. Maybe this one's better.
No, well, I think that
Here's all the cutouts.
Maybe you put this together. See if you throw enough shit at the wall. See if it sticks.
I think that was the original cut, though. I think Ultimate Edition was the original cut, and then they just kept chopping and chopping. Like, okay, this is too long for most people to watch.
But I can't remember. Did he like the original?
Why didn't they two-part it? Because
I don't remember.
Because the studio doesn't like to take risks, and plus, where would you cut it in half? Where would you stop it?
When
Right
they
at the- right
finish
at-
fighting.
I would-
Like, I haven't
Right
seen
after the Martha?
original.
Dude, if they ended it on the Martha
Ended on
thing,
Martha?
no.
Oh,
I would
are you
never have gone
serious?
back.
When they
They
finished
should have
fighting?
never went to Martha, okay? They're supposed to fight it out till one of them.
Yeah, I'll tell you, on a two-part movie, here's a two-part movie I never went to see the second part, Kill Bill.
Really?
You're
I
lucky.
saw Kill Bill
I saw
like
the
the
second
second
one.
Really?
on video later.
I ended up liking the second
Never-
one more.
never
because
went
the
to
first,
the,
first one is great, but the second one actually has story. The first one is just like Quentin Tarantino literally throwing shit like, hey, anime and I don't know, black and white and I don't know, whatever. Let's just do a foot fetish and pussy wagon and just whatever. Like
Just stupid.
Did you ever
Stupid
count
stuff.
his steps at the end, though? He took more than 7.
I thought it was 5.
It was 5.
It was
took
5,
like
but he took-
7 or 8 steps, and then he collapsed. I'm like, bullshit.
Oh,
Because she's not that good. That's why. Because she's a woman.
She's a woman.
oh my god.
The best line from that series, though. My name is Buck, and I'm here to fuck.
No, that is not the best line.
That is
What's
not
a better line from that movie?
I will
The
think
end.
of
Give
it
me a
and
good
I will
quote.
come
Give me a
back
good
to
quote.
you
the
later
end.
with that.
Goodbye. That was, to me,
Off
that
the top
was
of my
best one.
head, that's what I remember.
No, that was
was
retarded
funny.
because who's gonna hire a guy that shows up at a hospital with a huge with a car that says "pussy wagon" on the? It's just the characters
would
are just
you-
like, dude, seriously.
Everything was far fetched.
It was
She
super
killed
far-fetched.
1,000 people in the first movie.
I believe
killed
that
a lot of
every
people.
single
She
thing,
killed a lot of
everything she
people.
did was the only realistic part.
I remember watching it, and there's like, oh, they're called the Crazy 88. Huh, why are they called that? And she kills the first few, and then the rest come out, and I'm like,
Oh, there's 88. Let's count them. 1. Let's count them down, Deadpool style.
Yo, that
1,
would've
2.
been awesome.
Yeah, really? 64, 65.
But if they're getting mutilated, it would have been worth it.
Yeah.
I would say,
Quentin Tarantino, not a fan.
I would say that Kill Bill worked, but I feel like it wasn't his strongest movie, and I think of it as one movie. Sorry.
What is the strongest Quentin Tarantino movie?
I know what I think is the strongest movie, and
Which
I know
is?
that everyone will disagree.
Let's hear it.
Oh God, Jackie Brown.
You are right. I disagree.
Of course you do.
Danny, what's the strongest Quentin Tarantino movie?
What's your favorite?
He was in it. I don't think he did it though. What's one with Mr. Red and Mr. Blue and
Reservoir Dogs. That was him. Yeah,
He did
yeah.
that.
I loved Reservoir Dogs.
He did it. He wrote
You,
it.
you
He
feel
directed
that
it. He
that was
in it.
his strongest?
Yeah.
I say True Romance.
Oh, True
Well, he
Romance.
didn't direct it.
I know. That's why I think it's the strongest.
I didn't know he did True Romance. I
He
loved
wrote
that
it.
Movie.
He wrote it.
I think that is by far his strongest film.
That was
That movie I could watch over and over again. I enjoy that because Tony Scott throwing his weird directing in there, and the deleted scenes alone are like, wow! I don't know why you didn't put that in the movie. You know what they used to do back in the day? Not only did they used to put Easter eggs
day.
on, this is back in the day when dinosaurs roamed the land. They used to put Easter eggs on DVDs, which was always fun to find different Easter eggs. But they also used to put deleted scenes. You could put them in the movie. There was a thing where you could click it, and so you could watch the movie with the deleted scenes in
Some
the
movies
movie.
still do that.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, some
And I
do.
used to really enjoy that because that was the thing when I first started buying DVDs. I would buy them for special features alone. It's like alternate ending. I've never even heard of this movie, but I want to see the alternate ending of this movie because I'm always obsessed with what did you change. And I saw there's an alternate ending of 7. There's 3. Is there two or three alternate endings
What's
of
in
7?
the box? What's in the
Right.
box?
And I wanted to see, okay, what's the alternate ending of 7? And all of them end up with what's in the box.
So what
You know.
is it?
There's
the way
there's
they
one.
probably
I think
went
there's
about
one
it.
where Brad Pitt kills him. One where Morgan Freeman kills
The
him.
one where they don't kill him.
And
They both just
and-
RoboCop style.
yeah, it's just they're nothing. It's nothing that you know. And I you know what? I think Brad Pitt's a good actor.
I think he is now.
I do not think he's a good actor when he's saying "What's in the box."
No,
that was
no.
like, dude, that kind of ruined the movie for me.
I would
there.
say Brad Pitt is one of those actors who has become better as time goes on. I think when he first started, he was good looking, but he was just kind of like a
Did
plank
he
of
start
wood.
in True Romance?
he was in True
was-
Romance,
he was
not
in-
Star,
One of his
but
first movies, though.
Well, one of his first movies was also Thelma and Louise. Thelma and
I think
Louise.
Thelma and Louise was his first.
Thelma and Louise?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he
was.
was the hitchhiker that stole money, right? He
I
stole their
think
money,
so.
or something.
He slept with one of the girls, and he did.
He was
yeah.
in, but I think Thelma and Louise is like one of his first ones. He was pretty. No, he was a star.
7 was around the time he was becoming a star.
He-
I would say
he was
that.
he was a star in True Romance because that's why everybody was like, oh, Brad Pitt's in it. Oh,
Yeah, but I would say that it wasn't until I'd say the last 10 years I have more respect for Brad Pitt. Well, okay, who's an actor you guys would say when they first started you were like, but now they're doing interesting roles and stuff like that, or people who you find interesting? I would say the opposite for me would be Robert De Niro. He started off good and then he just gave up.
I think
he
just
gave up.
He's just doing movies for paychecks at this point.
Clearly, he hit 60
Hey,
and he was like,
Bad
done.
Grandpa was amazing.
Oh, it was not. Oh, it was
I
not.
laughed
Bad
so
Grandpa
hard.
is the one with Johnny Knoxville.
No.
No,
Isn't it?
no, no, no.
Dirty
That's
Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa. Yes. Dirty Grandpa.
I agree with Robert De Niro. He seems to be taking just a decline. He did that one in a movie that I thought should have been better, the American Hustle. He
Okay, I
did a
didn't see it.
cameo in that one.
He wasn't bad in Silver Linings Playbook. He didn't have like a massive role.
Enjoy.
but-
He was in Joy.
Well, yeah.
He was just the stuff he takes now. It's just nah. I mean, and he was in what's the cutesy little film that he just did with what's her name as the old guy that went back to work.
The Intern.
The Intern, which was a
he-
watchable film. That
he
wasn't a
was
bad
very
movie.
I thought
likable
he
in
was
that
gonna
movie.
bang her.
Absolutely likable.
I wouldn't have been.
I
Normally,
I
I'm
did
against
think that
age,
as well.
Normally, I'm against age disparity in Hollywood, but I was watching that going, if they hooked up, I would be okay. He was a really nice guy. I was like, you can do better than your husband. Like, good for you. Who cares if the dude is twice as old as you? But
He was very charming, very likable in that movie. I found it a little unbelievable, but
he was extremely.
it was a very generic film. To me a very generic film. You know what movie's coming out that I saw a preview for, kind of going off the rails on this one, that looks really, really good? And Tom Hanks playing a captain again, playing the captain. I think it's called Pilot. It's directed by Clint Eastwood.
Really?
And he's playing the pilot of the plane that went into the Hudson River that the engines crapped out when they took off, and he landed in the Hudson River and saved everybody.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good.
Okay.
The story you didn't know, which is he turned off the engines.
So he woke up that day, had some coffee.
It's like, what? Coffee? That's what did it. But it looks really good. I think Clint Eastwood is a very competent director. It's unfortunate that he had to go off on such a bad movie, Gran Torino. I
Yeah,
thought
I
it
was
was
gonna
a
say
horrible
leave my
movie.
Chinese alone.
Just
really.
bad film. Just disappointing for Clint Eastwood. I'm a Clint Eastwood fan. All the way from spaghetti westerns through Every Which Way But Loose. You couldn't get a worse movie than that. I mean, just throw together country music, an orangutan, and bare knuckle boxing, and it's like, this movie sounds stupid. I love it. It's hilarious. So,
Okay.
but an actor that I enjoy, like, I don't know if there is an actor. Well, no. You know what? There is.
Mm-hmm.
There's an actor that if they're in a movie, starring, not because I know this guy's now mostly doing cameos, but if they're starring, I will go see it. Although he killed that dream inside of me for this last movie, and I don't think I will. It's Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. If Bill Murray is starring in a movie, I will go. I love Bill Murray. And I saw Rock the Casbah is coming out.
Yeah.
And I was in San Diego, and I ran into Bill Murray, and then they were. Then he went up and did the press junket for Rock the Casbah, and it was just a funny interview. And watching him, and you could ask him questions. It was great. And so I'm like, dude, this is like his first starring movie in 20 years. And it's a comedy, and
he was in Zombieland.
Yeah, but he wasn't starring; he was just a cameo. So it's like Bill Murray's back in action. I can't wait to see it. And that movie was horrible. Not funny at all.
That's
Just
a shame.
Horrible. And so it's like, and I specifically, the only I wouldn't have gone seen it the only reason I saw it was for Bill Murray. If I would have seen it with, Brad Pitt's playing this guy, nope, didn't matter. And so I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Bill Murray anymore. So that's he ruined it. Damn you, Bill Murray. Damn
My
you.
guy is Jim Carrey. I loved him growing up.
Yeah.
And just as the years gone by,
I think his movies have gotten better.
What's the last movie that Jim Carrey did that you liked?
well, he was in Kick-Ass.
Oh yes, he was. Hey, I liked
was.
him in
But then
Kick-Ass.
he turned into a dick off screen when being like, I don't like guns, and when his whole boohoo bullshit.
I suppose, but that didn't take away from my enjoyment of his character in the film. But-
Kick-Ass was good, but his last starring role in a film, what are we talking,
What was
Truman
that
Show
one-
or
what was that one?
I love
It was
Truman
like
Show.
a secret
Truman Show's
bed
amazing.
or something.
when's what?
Hold on, I forgot.
The one where he's dreaming?
Yeah.
That's the
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
which was awesome. Great movie.
Is that not directed by Spike?
Charlie Kaufman
No, Charlie
Or-
Kaufman wrote it.
wrote it.
Is that directed by Spike Jonze?
I
Because that is.
are you sure it's not directed by Charlie Kaufman?
Is that his? Okay, well, you know what? Let's have a look, everybody.
Let's
researching,
look see. But
researching.
yeah, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I thought was just. I love Charles Kaufman's stuff because he did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He
Of
did.
course.
What's the one with Meryl Streep and?
He was in Earth Girls Are Easy.
He's been in
What's
a
that one
lot
with
of
with
stuff.
Meryl Streep and Nicolas Cage? Adaptation.
Adaptation? Yes. Being John Malkovich is
Being
one of
John
my favorite
Malkovich?
movies ever. It's so insane. I
So
love it.
I love his take on things, and he just recently did a movie called Anomalisa. I know I'm saying that wrong.
Annalisa?
No, Anomalisa.
Okay.
And it's all a stop action film. Stop
Okay.
action, claymation, whatever you want to call it, film.
Anomalisa.
Anomalisa.
Anomalisa. That's the name of it. Yeah. But I did want to see that. I heard that was really
not
interesting.
that good.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Okay.
Oh, Jim
It's-
Carrey was in The Deadpool.
Yes,
Was it?
yeah, he was. He was a rock star in the Deadpool.
Not Deadpool.
The Deadpool. Wow.
But I enjoyed Fun with Dick and Jane. I thought that was good.
Liar, liar.
Liar. Dumb and Dumber, the first one.
Is yeah, I would
thought
say
was fun.
I saw him in Dumb and Dumber too. That was
No.
disappointing. I saw it with a friend of mine who was literally the only person laughing in the theater. And
Going through that, I'm gonna have to. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to take it back. I love Jim Carrey. I'm looking at all his movies and I'm like, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I
Okay.
still love him.
Okay.
All right.
Every-
So Jim
every-
Carrey still on Danny's hit list.
Oh. All right, guys. Well, basically the last news of movie chit chat I thought was interesting.
Movie slash TV chit chat. Or is this
movie slash
Are we
TV.
doing? Are you still on movies or are we doing TV?
Oh, well, I actually had one more TV related item, and then we can talk about other stuff. But
Do it.
See how
Okay.
far we could venture from this topic.
Okay, this is actually via Birth Movies Death. Hulu has a standalone episode anthology series coming down the pipeline called Dimension 404. And here is the list of actors who are going to be in this: Megan Mullally, Constance Wu, Joel McHale, Lea Michele, Sarah Hyland, Patton Oswalt, Ashley Rickards, Sterling Beaumont, and Ryan Lee. This is kind of odd.
So this is what, like a Twilight Zone type thing?
Yeah, basically, it's an anthology series. Do you know what it is? I think it's Someone described it as Black Mirror, but without the despair.
Enjoy the Black Mirror.
But without the
So it is
despair.
Twilight Zone. It's going to be Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but I'm actually interested to see that, actually.
I'm Fox with that. Check it out.
The anthology series draws inspiration from the internet's notorious 404 code and aims to evoke the feeling of wandering into the weird side of the web at 3 a.m., stumbling upon stories that cannot be explained in the world as we know it.
So a lot of porn. Nice. With Leah Michelle.
Like at 3.
Clown porn.
3. Yeah, and it apparently
Junior
comes
the
from...
kind.
Oh, you guys know Freddie Wong, right? The YouTuber?
Who doesn't?
Really? You don't?
Who's Freddie?
Freddie, you guys should look him up. Freddie Wong is a YouTuber. He's
Is this the special effects guy?
Yes.
Yes, then I do know him.
Yes.
You know him, Danny.
You've seen his
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
He creates some really interesting stuff around certain premises. He's very
doing
good
the
VFX.
makeup and stuff.
Yeah. Apparently, he's makeup. I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing the special effects and stuff like
He's
that.
just doing make. He's doing
just
craft
doing make.
services.
He's
He's bringing food.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Speaking of,
I actually think this could be interesting. I kind of like the idea of an anthology series that's not horror or, as we said with Black Mirror, despair, where everyone's just like, oh, well,
now
I
is
rolled
Hulu
it.
going to take from Netflix and release all 3 at the same time?
Unlikely. Do you know why? Because Hulu, every time they have an original series, they release it week by week. I've noticed this.
That is true.
They did that with 11/22/63, I think was the name of
Correct.
it. They did that every
Which was
week.
which I enjoyed. I watched the whole
Actually,
thing.
yeah, it was. I enjoyed it as well. And they've done that with other things. They seem to like the idea of releasing it week by week. They did that with The Path, which I didn't watch, and a couple of others. But yeah, that's how they do. Obviously, they're going to host everything together. But if it's a 12-episode series, it's going to be 12 weeks. Wow. That's how Hulu works. Like Netflix are just like, well, here's a new show, just watch everything at once. But Hulu, you know what they are? Because they have because they have television that comes out every week, they know that there are people who check into Hulu every week like, oh, hey, Scandal, I missed Scandal, let me watch that. Oh, look, the newest episode of this thing is here, I'll watch it as well. So the viewers in Hulu, they just watch TV differently. They watch it week by week or, day by day instead of like all of us
We
who
are
have a day
stupid
off.
people. We are human beings. Are
No,
stupid
but we-
people.
no, but-
Because I was just thinking that Amazon Prime, like we pay for free shipping. Does no one get that? That you're paying for free
Then
shipping?
you get their free video service.
And you get their music service. Their music service
you're
isn't that
paying for
great,
free
but the
shipping.
video service is getting
Think
better.
about that.
Right at once.
We are. No, we totally are. But there's other stuff you get as an Amazon Prime member. It's really more on the
trust
books
me, I
section.
am signed up, so I am
You're
paying
like-
for it.
I'm not. I just hit up my friends that have it. It's-
I
order that thing
I
for me.
enjoy-
I got
Yeah.
you. Here's some
I enjoyed Netflix. I enjoy Amazon and Hulu, and Crackle.
I have not. I've seen.
Crackle.
Crackle is
the-
a free service.
The only reason I watch Crackle though is for Supermansion. I think Supermansion is amazing. It's like Robot Chicken with superheroes.
Oh, cool.
It's great.
Sounds
It's
interesting.
great.
Love
And
me some
Bryan
Robot
Cranston is the lead voice in it.
What?
What?
So
Yeah, Crackle is coming up there, but Crackle is like a free service. And,
yeah, so check it out. Crackle, Supermansion, Demented Revolution, authorized. Copyright infringement.
Phone number 47.
All right, okay. So should we
11/26/42.
should we move on to movie chit chat, guys, or did you want to?
Do you want to talk about any more TV?
Is there any more television, TV shows, TV
I don't know,
things
lately
that
I've
interest
just
you?
still been on House. I'm on season 7 already.
So you go.
Oh,
you
you're
went back.
retro. You're retro now.
I'm trying to catch up on Supernatural. I hate to say it.
How far- Really?
I've
How
turned
far have
into
you
a
reached?
tween. What?
How far have you reached?
But you have like
I am. I'm on season 4.
All right.
you have 8 seasons to go. I
Yeah.
can't. Too much.
And I will say it's enjoyable. It's and some of the shows because it's geared towards this one certain audience. Obviously, girls, they can be Sam and Dean, ooh, and
I was drawn to
and
it.
there's some very silly plot devices, whatever. But there are some episodes that are really smart, really well done, really
well acted. Like they're good.
I'm not gonna go into well acted,
Yo,
but it's really
when they have their heart-to-hearts, I feel it.
I'll give you this, like Amy Schumer, Inside Amy Schumer, when she did when they did the 12 Angry Men, I thought that was brilliant. That was brilliant, funny, smart, great. That was brilliant writing. And
I'm gonna look
it's
that up because she.
no,
irks
you
me
watched
sometimes.
if you know the movie 12 Angry Men, and then you see this episode that she did, brilliant. It really is brilliant. And they did, and that's why this one. Every now and then there'll be something that comes up that's like, dude, that is brilliant. That is so smart and very well done, and I enjoy that. And they actually have some genuine scares in there that I can see people being like, oh, creepy.
I still.
So yeah, Supernatural. I'm a Supernatural fan.
Did you see the one where they were? Was it in prison?
Yeah, we're not gonna go through
no.
Supernatural.
No.
That lady scared the baby
So-
out of me.
Oh my gosh.
It was,
wow.
but yeah, Supernatural. I'm binging on right now, which is cutting into my own personal challenge
of watching
movies, 365 movies in a year.
In a year.
I'm behind now. I'm at 180.
Oh my gosh.
You don't think a TV series, like at least like watching a full?
No, that does not.
No,
count.
it doesn't
Season
count.
No, it does
No,
not
it
count.
doesn't count. No,
It does
Because it's
not.
like one long movie.
doesn't count.
No,
Doesn't count.
Television series, I think the reason why TV is getting so good now, or I would say the shows that are getting the most praise are the ones that are not necessarily structured by like movies, but ones that have complete storylines. Rather than, oh, this is just going to go on for 6 seasons or whatever. It's like within this season, this character shows up, this happens, this goes on, and then it concludes in a way that you were like, okay, I get it, I understand it, that's fine. I would say like a lot of Dexter is that way. You're watching
Hated
it and
Dexter.
No,
I'd say a lot of Dexter.
The first
I hated a lot of Dexter.
I will agree with you, Danny.
When he went into the bathroom,
I hated
and
all of
she
Dexter.
exactly I would agree with
That's
you.
where it
The
should've
first,
ended.
if it ended there, that would have been fine. But it just
Hated
kept
Dexter.
going.
Hated it from the beginning.
From the beginning.
I did, because the whole time, who am I?
What about
Am
his
I the
sister?
type of person?
I'm an ugly girl.
And,
Oh,
and
no.
that was it.
The sister was
She's a
annoying to me.
police officer. She is this. She is this. And she cried every episode. And man, she cried. When she cried, she got uglier. And
A lot of people are ugly
and
criers.
All these guys would all be hitting on her like, "Hey, who are you?" And it's like, what is happening?
It was written in the script. Okay.
All I can say is this: is that the only thing Dexter did is show that Miami has the stupidest police officers known to mankind. They always have been Keystone Cops being like, "Well, what's happening around here?"
They are pretty dumb.
And they wrote them so stupid.
They did.
And on top of that, the not just serial killers. These serial killers were spectacle serial killers, where it's like, I'm gonna crucify a guy riding a horse through Main Street, yay! And like this stuff kind of happens. It's like, oh, another serial killer happened. You know this. Oh, I hated that show. And then the way it ended, it couldn't have been more fuck you to its fans.
That was terrible.
I started the last season, and when the old lady, she was like, I showed your father the code. I was like, I'm done right here.
They couldn't have been a bigger slap in the face to anybody who stuck with that show. And that's the way I feel about that. Did you see the whole thing all the way to the end?
I refused. I understand what happened. I read recaps. But
horrible.
That's
and that was
a
one that
disappointment.
I would watch, and I got so far into it that I was like, I can't quit now, because there's an ending in sight. So I'm already this far in, and I went all the way,
Wow.
and the whole way I bitched and screamed.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So Dexter.
So yeah, Dexter. Bleh, threw up in my mouth.
Showtime is hit or miss with me. Sometimes, I mean, they come out with shows that are just.
Well, I guess
truly
there's
terrible.
something about Strike Back, Banshee. Is that Showtime or Cinemax?
I guess, but I always think.
But I hear good things about those shows. Have not
Well,
seen
Strike
them.
Back is a British production, so it's. I mean, they basically just
Those
bought it.
British.
Those British.
Penny Dreadful's pretty fun though.
Penny
I
Dreadful,
tried
remember.
Penny Dreadful. It was not what I wanted it to be.
But it was-
Okay.
I was excited because it's like, this is what the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen
Should
should
have
have
been.
been.
Yes.
And then they started going off on weird things. I'm like, I'm not watching this anymore.
Oh wow. Okay, guys. So I actually have three more movie chit chat news items. However, I'm going to give you guys a chance to pick which one you want to talk about. Okay, so the first one is a remake of a beloved cult movie. The second one is a new vehicle for John Malkovich, which seems pretty interesting, related to our recent experiences. And the third is a remake of a TV show as a 2-part movie. So which one would you guys like to talk about?
Okay. I'm going to guess.
Now you can guess, sure.
I'm going to guess the remake of a TV show. You said TV show into a 2-part movie. Is it Stephen King's It?
Yes.
Knew that. Okay, got that. Nailed that. The
well,
first,
that was
one
it.
was a beloved cult film, you said, right?
Yes, beloved cult film, which is being remade.
Remade.
Well, it's already being. Well, we already talked about that. That's already.
That's being made into a TV show.
No, a TV movie. That's coming out around the Halloween.
Yeah. And now is the John Malkovich one the SuperCon one?
Yes.
Yeah,
he's going to be in a movie called SuperCon,
We
where
actually-
he plays a washed-up TV star,
And
sci-fi star.
Here's
Yeah.
the exciting part about SuperCon that I'm not sure if you guys are aware. We know the writer and director of that film. So
We do.
We are aware of the writer and the director of that film. One of the writers is Dana Snyder. But
Dana Snyder,
Dana
oh,
Snyder
cool.
of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but the other and Squidbillies and everything else that he does. The other one is Zach Knudsen, is a co-writer and director.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
He's the one directing it right now, and one of the other stars, Brooks Baselman, who you know as the transvestite Carol Channing from Drunk on Disney, is in this movie. So
he's magic.
There's a lot of people that we have met and know and speak to semi-regularly that are involved in this film. So very exciting.
That is very cool. Very cool.
It's called SuperCon?
Yes, it's called SuperCon.
I definitely will be watching.
Actually,
it's like kind of an Ocean's 11 and a Comic-Con, right?
Yeah, I like that idea. I do. But I might as well tell you the beloved cult movie which is being remade, Warriors.
Oh, I did see that, and it's who's doing it? It's a famous director, yeah.
Yes, it is a famous director, the Russo brothers, who directed Captain America: Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Yes, I did read that.
This
the Warriors
is why I'm
being
excited.
He can direct.
Because I mean, we get.
There's another movie movie line that is famous to this day. Warriors, come out and play.
Absolutely, and
have to do that clink with the glasses, clink, clink, clink.
And it's got to be. This is why I'm actually interested. This is why I'm interested. I mean, we hear about remakes every day, but the idea that the Russo brothers are getting involved in this, I'm excited. They can do action. This sounds like fun, but it can't be set now, right? Because if it was set in modern times,
it'd be all guns.
No, but not just all guns. They could just send out a tweet. Yo, we didn't kill this guy. Here's video proof. And they were like, oh, okay, that's it.
Well,
Hashtag,
they could change it around.
Falsely accused.
You can always change it around, however you want to do it. But they could modernize Warriors. I can see that happening.
You think so?
But if you want to see kind of the fun of Warriors and the comic booky sense of it back in and that was a 70s movie or 80s?
I've never seen it.
79.
79 was that
It's very good.
As they're going through. But
you should watch it. It's good.
I don't want to say it's good. It's fun to watch. But
it's a cult film for a reason.
In the sense that
yes,
all the gangs of New York get all together. But you got to understand, all these gangs are basically comic book gangs. Like, we all dress like baseball players, and we all dress like circus clowns, and we all dress like every gang has their own, whatever weird comic book type style.
Silly, but it's fun.
So when the Warriors, which is the gang that dress like
these guys.
Oh my God!
I'm showing Danny a picture
I'm not
right
sure what
now.
they dress like.
They're wearing the leather vest with no shirt.
Yeah, they dress like Chippendale dancers, I guess. They get accused of a murder, and they have to get back through all the boroughs. They get to get back to their home base,
territory,
their safe territory, because nobody can cross the boundaries. And so they have to go through all the different gang
it's a
territories.
night of them getting through being attacked by
like oh no, here comes the baseball gang! Yikes!
Wow! And then on top of that, at the end, there's a trial.
And it's like watching Dick Tracy and all the weird,
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mumbles coming.
I can agree that it's a silly movie, but watching it, it's really fun for me. Just watching.
No, it's a very fun movie. It's a very, but I can't say that it's good. But it's it's a fun movie. It's a fun cult. Yes, I could watch that movie again and enjoy it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
For Halloween, be a warrior.
That we should all come as warriors. That'd be great, and no one would know who we are.
Absolutely. But yeah, so that's it, guys. That's it for movie chit chat.
Hooray! Yeah, thumbs up, Jan. Good job. Good job. Ladies and gentlemen, the Demented Revolution is coming to a close on the epic 10th anniversary. This is our 10th anniversary. You like that?
10th anniversary?
10th anniversary.
Sure.
It's our 10th week anniversary. It's a milestone. We hit number 10. There are some TV shows out there that didn't hit number 10.
That is very true.
There are Broadway plays that haven't hit 10 shows.
That is very true.
There's other things that I can't think of that have not hit 10.
Very true. 10. 10's a big one.
There are top 10 lists that have not reached 10. Did you know that?
Top 9 lists.
Exactly. So we have hit a milestone. So pat yourselves on the back. All our revolutionaries out there, thank you all for listening. And we hope to do 10 more. And I'm no mathematician, but I think that's 19. Am I right?
17.
I'm not
Something
sure.
along
I
those
don't have my
lines.
shoes off, so I can't really count. So, with that being said, I bid you all. This is Codename Wayne saying a fond farewell.
All right, this is Shannon saying goodbye, everybody.
This is Danny saying, have a good one. Go
This-
out there, catch those Pokemon. They will understand.
I'm sure they
You'll
will.
understand a secret message. Thank you all for tuning into Demented Revolution. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. And you can hear us on, if you're listening right now, you probably know where you can find us. That's pretty much a thing. Because I was, the funny thing is, I said, I was doing a podcast and I said, if you're just joining us, and I thought, why would you be joining me right now in the middle of this podcast? This is not live. It's like,
Maybe they wanted
let me
to
just fast forward right
yeah.
to this part. Oh, you're just joining me. So if you're listening, you know where to find us. Thank you to Ben Sounds for offering us some interstitials. And for any copyrighted stuff that we use that is going to get all dickish about it, thanks for letting us use that as well. Anybody like to thank?
I would like to thank Birth Movies Death for always being cool and having really interesting news. Deadline.com, obviously. Anybody you would like to thank, Danny?
No. Nah, fuck all of you.
Yeah, screw you.
Not friendly.
So we appreciate it all. And again, as we said, this is the Demented Revolution 10th anniversary issue. Signing off.
You have reached the end of the world. To continue surviving, please place your firstborn outside of your doors. Thank you.